this is the time I started. You're cut off from your friends. They've all gone to the local secondary modern school. So in the holidays, you're kind of left on your own. This is when I started learning to play myself at Monopoly and chess. And so it's so stupid that my parents' answer to this was to buy me a book on chess, to learn how, the moves that happen in the great games. And you convince yourself gradually that actually you can do this rather well. Unfortunately, of course, once you start to play somebody who's at the grammar school, they're better than you. It's all kind of annoying, really. Anyway, in the second year, things improved somewhat because Paul Sparks, who I used to play with before, lived over the back. He was the same age as me, but because he hadn't skipped a year like I had, of course, he went to the grammar school a year later than me, and was in the year below. But we were now both in more of a sort of similar position, and his father bought him a pogo stick, but he had a younger sister, Rosemary. She was about 3 years younger than him, if I remember right, who was born with a hole in the heart. And it was always his complaint that because she had a hole in the heart, she was sort of like special. The doctors apparently decided that they weren't going to do an operation because it was going to heal itself as she got older, but she had to be sort of careful what she did. And one of the things she wasn't allowed to do, it seems, was to bounce around on the pogo stick, which meant that, so as not, as it were, to draw attention to her disability, if you like, he wasn't allowed to play on the pogo stick that bought for him either, except when she wasn't there, which wasn't all that often. But when she wasn't there, we could play on the pogo stick. Now, the main game, you can't, of course, both play on the sodding pogo stick either, can you? So, at once. So the only game you can really play is, well, you have a go and see how many hops you can do before you fall off, and then I'll have a go and see how many I can do before I fall off and see who's best. Well, in actual fact, most of the time he was better than me, to be honest. But anyway, as I was in the second year, we started to do French at school. So I came up with the idea. One of the first things you learn in French is how to count in French. So I had the brilliant idea, well, let's count the number of hops in French, because if we do that, his sister won't have learned French, and we can explain to her that we can play this, but you can't, because you have to count in French and you can't do that. Thus, allowing her not to play, but it's not, of course, because of her heart problem. It's for a completely different reason. Basically, she's not old enough, and she's not, she can't. We don't want to play with her, really. So this actually worked. I was really quite pleased. It had an extra benefit in that, of course, Paul wasn't nearly as good at me at counting in French because he hadn't learned it at school, which meant he had to concentrate more on the counting and tended to fall off. So I could actually beat him playing pogo on the pogo stick as well. His sister, even better, didn't want to play. Because, well, it's stupid counting in French. What could be more stupid than that? So everyone was happy. And there was yet one further benefit, because poor Paul's father got off the hook because he'd bought the pogo stick, and his mother, of course, thought, what a bloody stupid thing to buy when his sister couldn't play on it.